Gloucestershire captain Alex Gidman struck his first 100 of the season as his side piled on the runs on the second day of their LV County Championship match against Leicestershire at Grace Road. He began the day on 32 out of his side's 177 for 3, and he was quickly out of the blocks, with this 6 taking him to his 50 from his 83rd ball. Gidman was an England star of the future in his younger days, but a combination of injuries and a lack of confidence has set him back in recent times. He was, though, at his best right from the start of this day. The same can't be said of Kane Williamson, who'd made all the headlines on day one when he recorded his maiden championship 100 with a host of boundaries. He took 50 minutes to get his first on this day, but once he got into his stride, he was freely adding to his overnight score of 102. These two had come together with their side in a bit of bother on 88 for 3 on a good batting surface, but they were now putting on an extremely effective partnership for the fourth wicket. Gidman's placement was the most noticeable aspect of his mighty fine innings. Wherever Matthew Hoggard put the fielders, Gidman was still able to find the gaps. Williamson, a 20-year-old New Zealander with 5 test matches and 15 ODIs to his name, is clearly a talented player, but he has taken a little while to settle into English conditions. This was becoming the kind of innings Gloucestershire have been expecting of him. Their coach, John Bracewell, talks very highly of Williamson, and the Leicestershire bowlers were beginning to see why, as he stepped on the gas to take this fourth wicket partnership to 196. Williamson was just one away from his 150 when he was finally dismissed just after Hoggard had taken the new ball. The Kiwi just followed a delivery which drifted away from him and offered Will Jefferson a fine catch. Gidman still went to lunch a happy man with his team on 286 for 4, and he was closing in on his 100, his first since September 2009. He got there with a flick to fine leg to bring him his 11th 4. He'd now faced 167 deliveries, and it was a nice moment for him that his brother Will was able to congratulate him from the non-striker's end. Gloucestershire had now eased past 300, and it was now becoming about getting to 400 before the end of the 110th over to get maximum batting points. So Gidman stepped up his play a bit with some more beautifully executed and placed shots. He and his brother took the total to 352 with a partnership for the 5th wicket of 68. Will Gidman had made only 16 of those when his brilliant run of form ended. He scored 197 in his side's last game without getting out, but finally Jigger Naik had him leg before. That brought another one of Gloucestershire's many youngsters to the crease in the form of Ed Young for his first championship innings of the summer. His side had 10 overs to get the 48 runs they needed to get that 5th batting point, and so he wasted no time in putting bat to ball, especially off balls bowled by Naik. There were 3 deliveries of the 110 overs remaining, and Gloucestershire required 5 more runs. 4 of them came from this reverse sweep. Gloucestershire got that other run with 1 ball to spare and eventually went to tea on 419 for 5 after 116 overs. Gidman needed just 8 more to equal his career best of 176 when he was out to the 8th ball of the evening session, misreading the length of a delivery from Claude Henderson and going leg before for a brilliant 168. Young made a pleasant enough 39 before he too was out, offering a dolly to Joshua Cobb at mid-wicket. Ian Saxelby wasn't going to muck about with 433 runs already on the board. He stroked Henderson for a straight 6 before he watched Jonathan Batty miscue a hit off Naik, and he was held on the cover boundary. With the declaration now in sight, John Lewis also smacked Henderson for a maximum as Gloucestershire closed in on 500. Before they could get there, Saxelby gave Naik his 4th wicket, an easy leg before decision, but once the last pair got to that 500, Gidman declared on 504 for 9. That gave Leicestershire half an hour to bat out the day, and they did that comfortably enough. Lewis was very close though to having Jefferson LBW. But he survived while Matthew Boyce, who's missed a fair amount of cricket this year, looked in a hurry to get on with things. He drove Saxelby for 3 successive 4s to send out a couple of messages. 1, that this is still a good surface to bat on, and 2, that Leicestershire were not going to roll over and die. By the close, he and Jefferson had taken the total to 15 without loss from 8 overs, and that means that they still need 340 runs to avoid the follow-on when play resumes on day 3.